recording. And we're going to get started. Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is Toby James. I am one of the owners of Cats Cove Communications, and thank you for joining our webinar on how to sell online. Super excited about this stuff. We're going to talk about Facebook, Instagram, and setting up a very basic e-commerce platform. And what we're going to do is in that hour, I'm going to show you in real time how we actually walk through some of these platforms and get you hopefully set up in a way where you're comfortable starting to sell to people online. So one of the first things I'm going to do here, and this is always the next test, right, is I'm going to share my screen. And can you guys now see a Retreat Yourself website? Yes, no, Sasha, you're the only person I'm seeing right now. Can you nod? Is that what the screen looks like? All right, okay, so great. So we're going to hop over to our Facebook or to our PowerPoint presentation. You're going to see me snap all the way through because I was just testing it before, folks. And we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. Okay, so unfortunately, I can't see any of your screens here, so you're going to have to ping me in the chat if you need me to do something right away. This is how to set up an online shop in less than a day, okay? And we're going to get rid of that. I don't need that up right now. So what we're going to cover today, our tactics are going to help you drive sales through social media. We obviously know that we want to share on social media. We want to tell our story on social media, but we're not used to necessarily selling and actually drive sales through there. Okay, we're also going to help you make a decision on an e-commerce platform. And we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between an e-commerce platform and a traditional website platform. And most importantly, we're going to try and do all this with minimal financial commitment. We don't want this to be a break the bank situation. This is not the goal is not to have you spend $500 to make $300. The goal here is to have you spend a little bit of money and drive traffic and drive sales. Okay, so myself, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Toby James. I am a Digital Service Squad member in York Region, as well as City of Kawartha Lakes, the town of Perth, and of course the town of Carleton Place, Ontario. I'm the co-owner of Cats Cove Communications. I own it with my wife, Kathy. In the photo down there, you'll see there's my ugly mug next to Kathy, and then there goes Rachel, Bonnie, and Sasha in order as we move across the wall. I am a small business owner. I mention that simply because, guys, I get it. I understand what the world's like right now. I understand what it's like to have staff. I understand what it's like to try and navigate this world. I understand the uncertainty that unfortunately we're all facing right now. So I want you to know that I feel your pain. I understand what we're looking at and what we're dealing with right now. And of course, I am a dad as well. And those are our kids up in the corner. That's my son, Alex, and my daughter, Maggie. They are 7 and 5 years old. And in the midst of, let's call it less than rigorous homeschooling, perhaps at home. But that is, of course, one of the reasons that we are doing all of this as well. So this is what we do at Cats Cove, or this is how people traditionally think of us at Cats Cove. Social media management, website design, copywriting, graphic design, branding, search engine optimization. This is often what people say, do you do this? And the answer is yes, we do these things. However, what we really do is provide clarity and confidence, because if you aren't clear and you aren't confident, folks, you won't act. Some of you have seen this before. Some of you have heard this from us before. This is our vision. This is our mission. Our goal is to provide clarity and confidence, which is why when we put together something like this for selling online, our goal is very much to make it clear and leave you confident. We want you ready to do this on your own when we're all said and done, guys. That's the idea, okay? So let me any questions, like I said, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please fire them up in the chat and we will do our best to either address them in real time, if not in real time, and we don't know the answer because we don't know the answer a lot of the time as well. We will get back to you as quickly as possible. Your commitment. If you're here and you've taken the time to do this, guys, I want you to try one of the things that we talk about today. Okay, it doesn't have to be all of them. I don't need to know that by end of day tomorrow you have a fully functional e-commerce store. I would like you to try and set up one of the things we talk about. Again, we're going to cover 3 different tactics here in the next hour. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome. We're going to cover how to sell through Facebook, Instagram, and an e-commerce platform that implements and integrates with almost every website design software that's out there. And I would like you to commit that you are going to try something here. And like I said, let us know how you did. If you struggle with it, that's fine. Reach out. We can help. If it goes great, I really want to hear that. Okay. So here's what you're going to learn. Again, online revenue through your Facebook page. We're going to drive some revenue. We're going to drive more messages saying, can I please buy this? We're also going to drive people from your Facebook page to your online store, depending where your online store is set up. Okay. If you don't have an online store, I'm going to teach you how to set up an online store today. Okay. We're also going to drive sales through your Instagram business page, not personal page, business page. If that freaks you out because you're not sure if you have an Instagram business page, do not worry. We are going to cover that as well. And I'm going to show you the 4 steps you can take on your Instagram account to ensure it's set up as a business page. We're also going to provide you with some of the tools you need to set up an e-commerce website. Again, guys, we're going to do it all in real time here. I'm going to walk you through with some of the stuff we have open in my browser, and we're going to do it together, okay? First, let's talk about online shopping in Canada. So in 2019, this is the breakdown of the folks that were shopping online in Canada, okay? To kind of give you an idea. The baby boomers made up 37%. Maria can't hear me. Can everyone else hear me? I'm getting nods, I'm getting nods, I'm getting nods. Okay. Maria, I'm going to need you to check your settings. I'm getting lots of yeses there. So I'm not sure what we can do about that right now. The good news, Maria, it will be available as a recording afterwards. So if you can't sort it out, okay? So baby boomers made up 37% of the people that answered the survey with regards to did you buy something online? Millennials were 28% and the Gen Xers were 25%. So what does all that mean? Well, really, when you do the math there, guys, that leaves 10%. 10% of the people that are in the older age of the spectrum and 10% that are under the millennials that way. So everyone's shopping online is what I'm getting at here, okay? And your market, whatever it is, your demographic exists and they buy online. It's not all millennials, it's not all Gen X, it's not all baby boomers. We're spread out evenly throughout all of them, okay? So let's talk about the growth in Canada. Before COVID-19, let's be honest, the reason you're all willing to take this webinar today and may not have 6-8 weeks ago, 10% of all the dollars spent in Canada was spent digitally, okay? To give you an idea, 10% doesn't sound like a lot, which is why I give you some real numbers. I picked January, okay? Not December, not November. We didn't pick Christmas spikes. We picked January numbers here. So in January 2016 in Canada, digital dollars spent was 877 million. In January 2020, we went up to 1.6 billion. We can see the growth is flying here. And pre-COVID, pre-coronavirus, where we all had to learn how to shop online and do this differently, they were predicting 9% growth in 2020 and 8% growth in 2021. So what does all this mean, guys? This is not the future. This is not one day people will shop online. This is the present. This is how our world works now. Especially in a self-isolation, quarantine, contactless delivery world. But even before that, I want you to realize online commerce is no longer something you can wait on. So I'm glad that you're here, number one. Most importantly, that's why we went back to the commitment. This is what I want you to realize. This is the present. I need you to try one of these tactics, okay? So local examples where I am here in Perth. We have a local brewery that's set up online. So a couple weeks ago, I ordered beer and a hat from them. We have a local butcher that is online where you can order all your meat and everything that way and go and pick it up. Our local grocery store, one of them is an independent grocer, right? Where you can use your PC Optimum app and you can order all your groceries online. Used to be you could do it Friday at 10 o'clock at night and set up a 10 o'clock or 12 noon pickup the next day. They're booked out 2 weeks in advance here now before you can get your groceries. People are shifting, okay? Local restaurants have started taking online orders for groceries and foodstuffs, okay? So my wife today picked up yeast from a local grocery or from a local restaurant. because we can't find it at the grocery store. People are pivoting. People are moving online. So what does that mean? This is not just a pandemic solution for you guys. This is not just a next 6 months, 2 years, whatever we're doing. You need to be online afterwards as well. Our habits have already started shifting, and we're going to want, as consumers, the same convenience when we're allowed to leave the house. We're going to want the same convenience when we're done here, okay? So all that being said, that's a little bit of background on where our market's at here in Canada. I want to talk about Facebook Shops specifically. So if your business sells physical products, you can set up a Facebook store. You can sell through Facebook. You can start driving things to your website, okay? 85% of the orders on social media are coming from Facebook. 37% of shoppers that are looking for new media or entertainment are finding products on the Facebook app. Realistically, what we're saying is people are comfortable shopping on Facebook at this point. And that's it. That's all you need, guys. You need a Facebook business page to start moving product online. And so what we're going to do, if you come with me here, can everyone see the Retreat Yourself page now? Everyone's moved over to one of our Facebook pages. Sasha, again, you're the only person. I'm looking at you, okay? It's not that I don't want to look at the rest of you guys. It's just I have to minimize some of the screen so I can see what I'm actually looking at here. Wonderful. So Retreat Yourself is not a pitch for Retreat Yourself. Kathy no longer runs Retreat Yourself. It was a women's retreat, a weekend that she used to run that way. So if you follow my mouse over to the left here and under home, posts, videos over here, this is where you'll often find the shop set up, okay? This is where you're gonna find a shop set up online on social media. You're gonna see under Retreat Yourself, we actually don't have a shop button because we didn't have a shop where we sold anything. I'm going to show you how to set it up because a bunch of you also won't have that. So we're going to go to settings and we're going to bear with everything kind of clicking along here, hopefully. This is always the fun part, right? Where we figure out whether or not my computer is going to respond or not. So we're going to go into your settings, guys. And under settings, we don't want any of this stuff that's popped up first. We're going to wait over here on the left-hand side. There's more stuff coming. And what we have over there, we're looking for a heading called tabs and templates. Okay, tabs and templates. And under tabs and templates, we're going to be able to turn on all of those buttons that we saw on our Retreat Yourself. So templates and tabs is right here. Okay, it might be in a slightly different spot for you, but we're going to click on templates and tabs. And as we chug along here, always amazing how a new computer can slow down so quickly, isn't it? So as we chug along here, what we're going to do is wait patiently, I suppose. And in here, we're going to have the option of setting up a button called Shop, okay? So as we're spinning and we're spinning and we're spinning, this is where we add our Shop button. So you see everything that pops up here, guys. Down here, home, posts, videos, this all looks familiar because this is what was on the front page of the site. So we're going to go to add a tab. And as this loads, you see here shop. I'm going to add the tab for shop. I'm going to go down, I'm going to close it. I'm going to take shop because I want shop to be right at the top because I want people buying from me. And you'll see how I grab it and I drag it to the top. And now I have a shop. So I'm also going to go back to my page then. So I'm clicking on page. I'm heading back to the first page of Retreat Yourself Women's Weekend. Okay. And if it worked, which it did, you can see I now have shop here. So as the owner of this page, I'm going to click on shop. I'm not going to wait for the rest of it. I'm going to be impatient, which is probably going to make my computer angry, but I'm going to click on shop and we're going to get rocking and rolling here. All right. And we're going to start adding products. And it's pretty simple when you look at it, right? So I can manage a catalog. I've got all my products here. I can add collections. I can start adding products here. So if I click here, right, I've got this where it just says add product, right? And I'm going to click add product. And as we kind of go through. So when you set this up, because this has already been set up a little bit here, guys, it's going to ask you, how do you want people to talk to you? How do you want people to interact with you at this point. They're going to say, do you want them to send you a direct message, or do you want to drive them to your website? And you can do either or, okay? In this case, I simply have this set up as, so I'll show you, I added a product before. I added this ice cream. I add the picture. I say it's ice cream. It costs $2. I describe it as ice cream in case you couldn't figure out what it was before. I can say it is, so I'm going to say I want it public so everyone can see it, okay? And here in the condition selector, let's not say used ice cream, let's say new ice cream, because nobody wants used ice cream, and I'm going to save it. And believe it or not, I now have ice cream on my Retreat Yourself Women's Weekend page. It was that simple for me to set up a product. You can see it's there. It's now $2. And if you go back to the page, when you click on ice cream, it will say send a message. So that's how we would get a message saying, I would like to buy your ice cream. Very simple, requires no e-commerce whatsoever. It doesn't require any infrastructure set up at all. It does require the ability to manage all of these. So Charlotte, how do you set up communication? When you set up the page initially, you will have it so it says, do you want people to message you, or how do you want them to talk to you? So I will have the ability to message the Retreat Yourself Women's Weekend page now, Charlotte, and say I would like to buy that ice cream, and then we can work it out. This is a great resource if you don't have a bunch of things that you would like to interact with, that you would like to if you're not going to load 50 things, if you got 5 or 6 things, this is a great opportunity to go through and do some of these things. Okay, so we're going to click on shop here, and there's my ice cream. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's gone back to that. If you're viewing it as the public, then this is the opportunity to buy ice cream. It's really that simple to get started. Okay, that's the simplest way to start loading things and start getting messages about your product. It doesn't require a catalog. It doesn't require inventory. It does require you to be attentive to your page, because you're going to have to start seeing those messages when they come in. Okay, that's the simplest version of setting this up. Now, one of the other things, let me just see. Would you drive them to the website only if you have e-commerce set up? Yes, Christine, that's the idea. If you have e-commerce set up, you want to drive them to the website so I can make the purchase there on the website. And I'm sorry, guys, I've got lots of things coming in both privately. I know I'm missing some, so do not hesitate to ask. Heidi set up hers in albums. Can I drag and drop the product to the new shop? Absolutely. You can set them up in the shop that way. That photo is from our page, Heidi, the ice cream photo. So that's where that came from. So if you have it on your page, you can use it. Can you do this on your mobile? Some features you have the ability to do on your mobile. I'm going to be honest, some of them, they require that you do it on your desktop that way. Okay. So very quickly, and please keep asking questions, guys, but in the interest of plugging along, we're going to bounce over to the next part of Facebook. So if you want to set this up where you can add a collection, so Heidi, I believe it was, this is where you can add collections, so you can take those photos and you can add them all there. So if you only have shoes, if you only have different kinds of ice cream, all of that stuff, you can set it up down here. There is something as well with Facebook called Catalog Manager, folks, okay? Catalog Manager is one of your business manager tools that you have available to you. And this is a great place to start handling more content, okay? This is also for those of you that are saying, yeah, Toby, I want to sell on Instagram though, not on Facebook, and I need to know how to do that. You need to set up your Catalog Manager, okay? There's lots of different ways to set it up. The simplest way for me to explain it right now is they will do it for you. You can do it like I just did. You can do it manually. You can also do it through a spreadsheet, where if you already have all of your items somewhere in a spreadsheet, you can upload all of this data. All of this is possible that way, okay? So if I'm now in products for Cats Cove Communications, right, is what you're going to see here. I've got a couple different things, right? There's a test catalog that I started setting up. There's another one. This is the one that I'm using right now, products for Cats Cove Communications. And of course, you'll see down here, Retreat Yourself Women's Weekend as well. So you can run them on multiple pages if you want. So we're going to stay on this one. We're going to get into products here. And you're going to see lots of different things here. I'll explain where some of these came from before. For those of you that are curious, no, we do not sell clothing. There's just samples of it up here. You're also going to see some plates and some other things here. These are all samples that come from the e-commerce stuff that I had before. So right here, of course, you'll see red plate. That's my daughter from 2 or 3 years ago. She looks just as frazzled now. But that is me selling a red plate, for example, okay? This is the same idea. You can set up your products here under add products. You can add them manually if you want to do it manually because you don't want to deal with spreadsheets. You hate spreadsheets and you hate all that fun stuff. You can do it that way. You can do a bulk upload if you already have that stuff. You can use your Pixel if you've set up Facebook Pixel. Guys, I'm not going to get into Facebook Pixel right now. It's a whole nother webinar, probably a couple different webinars on how to use that. But manually works the same way, where I hit next, we go through and we add whatever we want to add. We can upload our file here and our name and our description. We can put a website link in if we want it. And this is where we set our price. This is how you set up your catalog. And all of this represents itself. If you stay with me, we're going to hop over to the Cats Cove page here. Hopefully, eventually. Not sure what it's doing. All right. This is not different. Okay. This is not different than the shop button, Christine. This is the ability to add an extra layer. This is, so think of the shop button as your storefront. And this is what I'm showing you. And think of the catalog as the warehouse where you keep everything and you keep track of everything. That's the way to think of it. And Shauna, every item you want to sell on Instagram, you're going to need it in your Facebook catalog. Absolutely. They're connected and that's how they manage the information. Okay. So if I go to Cats Cove and I go to shop, this is now my storefront. This is my window into what I have available. And here are all the things that I have. Now you'll see some I don't have pictures with, right? Because I've been uploading them while testing, right? Some I do. And here are all the photos that came across. We'll talk about how you can do that. Again, this is possible. You can literally edit these in the moment here, guys, where you can start adding things. You can start editing and changing your prices and changing your photos, and you can do it all here. But this is your shop, right? And so for an example, if I want to buy, and we're gonna get into this in a minute, but if I want to buy the red plate, because I've set this up and tied this to a e-commerce store, I can now check out on website here. And you'll see it will take you to Toby's online store.company.site. And I've given you some very elaborate product details here of it's a red plate, need I say more? And that's what we're looking at. If you have this set up on Retreat Yourself, for example, with the ice cream cone, instead of checkout on website, it would say send a message. And that's how I would then message the page to say, how do I buy your plate? How do I buy your thing? Okay, that's the idea. And let me just see, I've got some more popping up in the chat. Set up the catalog first, absolutely. Set up the catalog first. If you have a lot of inventory, go through the catalog, spend your time there, absolutely. So this is how you get into, so this page here, Catalog Manager, is how you create this stuff. Also, depending, and we're going to get into this, depending what your current online e-commerce store is, your catalog manager will talk to that website. So when I get into Ecwid, which is a program that I'm going to show you guys later, okay, when I change what's in Ecwid in my Toby's online store, it changes what's in my catalog, which then changes what's being displayed in my storefront. So the beauty of how I've set this up and how I'm going to walk you through this is you actually only need to set up one spot. So set up Catalog Manager first. Yes, Christine, but what we're going to want to do is set it up through another program first. Melissa, increasing traffic to Facebook and Instagram pages is a whole nother seminar. Post is what I'm going to tell you. Brand yourself and post as much as you can. That's a great point though, Melissa, because something I did want to touch on is, guys, setting up your shop is not enough. You then want to drive traffic, by which I mean you want to keep posting on those things, okay? Again, if there are questions about how this works, guys, fire them off in the chat. I'll do my best. Out of respect to the group, I can't get into all the nitty gritties. We'll work with you one-on-one afterwards, happy to. But as of right now, we just need to be aware that not everyone's gonna have the exact same questions. This is how you get started. That's the idea, okay? So I'm gonna go back to PowerPoint here. So really, when I say you need a Facebook business page, that's what I mean. None of the rest of that cost me anything. Yes, you have to start doing some setup in Catalog Manager. Yes, you have to start picking away at some of that stuff, absolutely. But really all you need is to get started in Facebook business page and get started that way, okay? Can you use your Square website linked with this? Great question, Nancy. And yes, we're going to get into the Ecwid profile links on top of it. Facebook doesn't directly link with every website. They have some preferred partners. We're going to get into that though, okay? Absolutely. So that's very quickly, guys, how to get started with Facebook. It's not super complicated. Like everything in life, we do need to put some time in. It's inventory management. And if you're already doing bricks and mortar and doing inventory management, I'm sorry, it's no better than what you're doing now. It is still time consuming, but it allows people to see what you have online, okay? So let's move to selling on Instagram. And let's make sure, first of all, you are set up with an Instagram business account. So I got a few screenshots here, okay? This is our Cats Cove page. And if we start over here on the left, here's what we do. We go up to where we've got our 3 lines and the number 1 up here, and we click on those 3 lines. That opens up all of this fun stuff, starting with archive. You're gonna go all the way down to settings. You're gonna click on settings. Once settings opens up, you're gonna find account. And once you click on account, you're going to see down here, it will say one of 2 things. I am going to switch to a business account, or I am going to switch to a personal account. Because Cats Cove is set up with a business account, which allows us to run ads and things like that, ours says switch to personal. If yours says switch to business, you click on that, you follow a couple of prompts, and you're set up for a business account. You need to be set up with a business account in order to sell. It's the Facebook rule that way, okay? Fairly simple, makes sense. This can't prevent you any longer from being set up with a business account. These 4 screenshots here literally walk you through as simple as it is, okay? All right, and we will get into creator account at another time, Shauna. It's great question, but it's a rabbit hole we will wander down another time, okay? So if we're here, oops. I want to, oops, and let me just go back and I'm gonna close my chat and okay, so selling on Instagram. Here's your steps, folks. This is really it. I'm not going to walk you through, I'm gonna take you back to the catalog manager in a moment. I'm not going to walk you through all of it in the actual how-to because it's literally as simple as these steps, of which some of them we've already covered. The other thing is you need to sell a physical product on Instagram in order to sell there, in order to directly sell there. And because Cats Cove doesn't, they wouldn't actually approve us to be set up to sell any products through Instagram. Because believe it or not, we don't sell red plates at Cats Cove Communications, right? So it's not something like that. But I will show you the process. And again, I promise you, it is super, super simple. They are very interested in you being set up to do this, okay? So over here, we're going to create the Facebook catalog with Facebook Business Manager. I've shown you how to do that, okay? Or I've shown you how to do it once you're into catalog. If you can't figure it out otherwise, it is through Facebook Business Manager, or to be honest with you guys, all you have to do is Google create a Facebook catalog. The first option that comes up is Facebook, and it walks you through that. You're going to connect your online shop to your business's Instagram account. We're going to go through that in a moment. It's literally then posting to Instagram. You're going to upload the photos that you want to tag. You're going to, on the post settings page, you're going to tap tag the products. You're going to create these posts that feel natural, right? We don't want to make it totally silly. We want it to be, I mean, I don't know if the picture of my daughter is the best example, but we want it to be real life, and we're trying to sell the plate that's sitting there. You're going to do all the same you would do with tags and hashtags and everything that way. And one of the things, once you get approved, is you'll have to activate that shop tab on your Instagram profile, okay? So if I go back to here and Catalog Manager under Cats Cove, under Manage over here on the left, guys, if I go to Use Cases, so the beauty of Catalog Manager is if you're not sure how to run ads, they help you run ads, okay? They help you sell stuff. You've got a catalog of shoes that you want to push. This is where they help you do it. This is setting up your Facebook page shop. Because I believe we're all Canadian that are here, or at least all set up, we cannot buy directly from Facebook. We do have to either directly message or send to a website. They are rolling this out slowly with Instagram and Facebook. Canada will be able to do this at some point, but that's not what we're able to do. Ads to drive traffic. And then under here, more ways to use your catalog. We connect our profile. And again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing here, but it's literally add a new Instagram business profile, and it walks you through the process, right? You can follow this step-by-step guide to set up Instagram shopping. It's down here. You'll see it down here. And most importantly, guys, it's also right there. Okay? Instagram is not hard to sell on once you set up Catalog Manager. Everything starts with Catalog Manager if you want to sell on Instagram, if you want to start tagging things on Instagram. That's where it all starts, okay, guys? That's where you need to spend some time. That's where I suspect, if I hear from any of you looking for help later, that will be where you're looking for help. I get it, but that's where we need to start. I hope that makes sense, okay? That's selling on Facebook and Instagram. No, I haven't gone into super in-depth with it yet because you're each at a different point in your journey. You're each looking for something slightly different. One of you wants to sell 5 things. One of you wants to sell 500 things. So I understand that. So we're gonna have to leave it at this right now. I do want to get into this very quickly. E-commerce versus website platforms. Is there a fee to do this on Facebook or Instagram? Diane wants to know. No fee. If you want to set it up that way, there's no fee. It's pretty remarkable. Now, Diane, keep in mind that what you will see is you'll have a fee to set up a proper e-commerce platform outside of it and link it to Facebook and Instagram. You can, if you're already set up that way, then that's different. But Facebook or Instagram will not charge you a fee for this stuff. Not at all. So you can set all this up there and start getting messages. Absolutely. I mean, you saw me add an ice cream cone. Guys, I love you all. I'm so happy you're here, but I would not have spent any money to pretend list a red plate or an ice cream cone. So we're not doing that, okay? So let's talk very quickly about e-commerce platforms versus website platforms. Everything on the left, Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce. They make websites, but they are e-commerce platforms first. Their goal is to help you sell first, okay? Help you set up a store. Many of you have a website built on WordPress, Wix, Weebly, Drupal, Squarespace, so on and so forth, okay? Lots of other options as well. Those are content websites first, right? That's, you built a website to tell your story, and then it became a commerce thing. If you're already set up with Shopify, BigCommerce, or WooCommerce, and you've already set up an online store as a result, Facebook loves working with those guys They are preferred partners, and they are super happy to connect everything for you. It's already done because realistically, you're probably already paying the Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce fee. If you're working with some of the other content management stuff, you have to come up with a little bit of a workaround. Now, it's not to say, right? I mean, we've built Wix e-commerce sites and Weebly and Squarespace. All of these have e-commerce sites, but connecting it back to your social takes an extra effort. So what we're going to do now is go through Ecwid. So ECWID, Ecwid. I have no idea what it stands for, except the beginning, of course, is e-commerce. I'm assuming it's e-commerce widget because it allows you, and it works on all of these things. WordPress, Wix, Weebly, Drupal, Squarespace, Facebook, eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Tumblr, Instagram. You can connect to all of these things and sell through this Ecwid platform on all of these things. Depending which ones you want to connect to, you will have to pay a fee. Okay. Again, we're talking about, I signed up for what's called the venture plan. So I can list 100 products, and I think it's $12.50, $15 a month American. So obviously, you know, you do your exchange rates and you kind of get to where you get, but it's not a lot of money, guys, to do it. And it allows you to link to all this stuff. And we're actually going to walk through it later. You can build this Ecwid store into all of your WordPress and Wix and Weebly without a cost. So you can do it that way as well. However, you can't necessarily link it to your Facebook and Instagram. That's the trick. So let's take a look at Ecwid. So here's my Ecwid control panel. Okay. So again, I can build a website here, guys. This is, if I go back to my dashboard on this, this is where I've started. I mean, listen, I haven't gone really far down this because frankly, I'm not looking to sell through my website right now, right? We're selling services and things like that. As of right now, we're not looking to do it. But it literally, to kind of give you context, this took me, let's say 10 minutes to get this far and get set up, okay? Very, very simple. So you can just start with your own site. You see it, it's tobysonlinestore.company.site. I can go to website settings. I haven't set any of that up. It's still all very, very simple and very basic. Also, I don't want anyone to accidentally try and buy those board shorts that we have linked on our Facebook page. So I haven't completed any of the back end, how to set it up. Again, they walk you through it, right? Set up payment options. How are you going to deliver your goods? You're getting Purelate stuff. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to make all this work, right? Can use your Square point of sale system and download the catalog to go into Ecwid. So yes, depending on, so Ecwid has different layers of like anything, different levels of accounts. If you want to get into Square point of sale and things like that, you're going to have to go a little bit beyond the venture side in order to do that. Okay. So I'm here on my dashboard, very simple, right? I've created the account. I've added my my store to a website or social network. Again, I didn't have to do anything. It says connect. It asks me what my Facebook page is. I give it my Facebook page and it does all the work for me, to the point where I'm going to show you how to add things to my store right now. Okay. So over here, before we do it, guys, there's sell on Facebook, sell on mobile, sell on website, right? There's all these sales channels. If I go into all sales channels, you see what it's talking about here, right? It can help you sell Facebook Messenger, Google. There's your point of sale. So you can get into that, eBay, Amazon. You are limited by your imagination and your willingness to really dive into this stuff. That's about it right now, okay? So what I did is I said sell on Facebook and I connected everything. Pretty simple stuff. I'm going to go here under store management right now. I'm going to go to catalog. Look at this. We have gift cards as well, guys. So if we want to set up stuff like that with gift cards, okay, we're not going to do that right now, but it does products and categories. It's all the same stuff that you would be doing setting up any store anywhere else. And I'm going to go into products. So you can see this is where my blue plate, my green plate, and all the rest of it is, right? This is also where, this is where all of my clothes came from. Dirty little secret, right? That's again, black tank tops and black dresses and all that stuff. This is their example, right? This is all the stuff that's here. And so I can add a new product and we can do it one by one if we want. right? I can upload my images. You can do main image, different angles, close-ups, a photo of it being used, your name, your SKU, your weight. Very important if you intend to ship. If you intend to ship like long distances, you're going to need to wait because we're going to need to do that. All your description, all of that fun stuff. It's all in here, right? If you look up here, attributes, taxes and shipping, SEO, so keywords that you want to use to drive people to find that product. A buy now button, so somebody can just say, yeah, buy it. I'm done. I like just buy it. Related products. So when you say, here's here's my socks. It also goes with the shoes that match with it. You can say, if you bought this, you're going to want to buy that as well. All of that fun stuff you can set up in here. So I can do upload images the same as I've done in everything else, guys. It's all here. I want to show you something really cool, though. If I go back to products, and we will leave this page, I can go to import products as well. So very simply, again, I'm going to show you how to do it through a spreadsheet here, okay? So I'm going to import columns from a spreadsheet. I'll show you my spreadsheet in a second, right? So we've got name and description, all right? We can add price and storefront page and all the rest of it if you want to add this. I'm going to warn you now, the more categories you add to any spreadsheet, the more difficulty you're going to have. If I set this up, will I not need to also set up the catalog on Facebook? Christine, watch, you won't. Because I'm going to add things to Ecwid's catalog here, and it's going to put them in my Facebook catalog. Okay. So, and I have things. So Sasha's privately messaging me, asking if she has things on Facebook and she clicks on them, does it take me to a landing page through Ecwid to buy? Yes. So Sasha, if you go back to that Facebook page where I was selling the red plate, and it said, take me to the website to buy, it would have brought me to whatever that is, tobysonlinestore.ecwid.com or whatever it is, whatever this site is, that's where it would all go to. Great questions, guys. I'm so thrilled that you guys are asking these questions because I hate when it just sits quietly. Okay, so I'm going to take you to my test inventory. So I have purple plate and maroon plate, and I'm going to add navy blue plate. Okay. And we're going to add all these things. So this is in my test inventory file. So again, you would create it based on all of these columns that you've got here, folks. Whatever you want to upload, whatever you know you've already got, okay? I'm not going to go through all of that stuff right now, but it's that simple, right? So I'm going to do this. So I've made some changes here. So I'm going to save my file. I am going to go back to choose file here. And I always have a fear that my computer will shut down in the middle of one of these. So we're going to go to test. And then come on. There you guys get to see all the stuff in my download. There it is. Test inventory CSV. Okay. I'm going to go down to the bottom and I'm going to say import. And there you go. File test inventory CSV has been imported. Refresh. Maroon plate, navy blue plate, purple plate. All that fun stuff is here now, right? I'm charging nothing for it. If I want to add my photos after, guys, then this is where I add my photos, right? I edit my product and I do it that way. Now, here's the cool thing. I go back to sell on Facebook, right? So to kind of give you an idea, Christine, back to your question, do we have to do Facebook catalog as well? Watch this. So I just added a bunch of things. Remember, over here, I don't have maroon or navy blue or any of that fun stuff, right? You can see everything I've got here as of right now in my store. The Ecwid platform, without doing what we're about to do, will sync twice a day, okay, to kind of give you an idea. So I'm going to go back to sales channels, sell on Facebook. And we wait and we wait and we wait. So it says I have 14 here available for upload. I'm going to sync my products. And as it slowly does it. So as it says, you can close this page. It's going to take care of it. We've hit the button. It goes through. Watch how many products I have when I'm done, folks. I now have 17, okay? 14 listed, 3 pending review. So these are the new ones that they've sent to review. If I go back here, I'll go to refresh. But this is my catalog manager. This is where products for Cats Cove Communications catalog was created, guys. Okay. And that's where it's uploading them to right now. I didn't add any of these manually. Okay. It is doing it here for me right now. So as it's reviewing, that's what we're going through. It takes a minute sometimes it happens right away. I would have to refresh all of this as well. So I'm going to see if it will just bring it in straight to my store. But does that answer your question? I guess Christine would be, it will do it all for you that way. Okay, can I make my business website the landing page for the store? Yes, absolutely. Ecwid can be, not knowing exactly what your website looks like on the back end, Christine, yes, Ecwid can be built as the catalog on top of whatever your platform is. So when you go back to, and I know I'm jumping around, guys, so bear with me here, okay? But when you go back to this, you can build Ecwid on top of any of these things. You can use it to sell on any of these. So if you're built on something like this, absolutely, Ecwid will talk to it that way, and you can do it that way, okay? So, look at that. Navy blue plate, maroon plate, purple plate. It's all in my store now, guys. It took that long to sync. So if you update it on your control panel, and you update it over here, what's going on there? Is that me? If you update it there, that's how easy it is to sync here. Okay, it's really that simple. That is the easiest way I can find. Now, I'm not saying there's not an easier way. And if you're already set up with Shopify or BigCommerce or any of that stuff, this doesn't necessarily apply to you. But if you're already set up with Shopify and all the rest of it, I'm going to say you probably wouldn't have joined us here today. Okay, so that's the simplest way to set all that fun stuff up. So I had one other one in there. Angela, is this the best site when you have thousands of products versus under 100? So again, depending what level you're willing to pay for, Angela, they have, so if I go to, let me see, is Shopify still better to use than syncing Ecwid to your not BigCommerce site? Ask me that again, Shauna. I'm not sure what you're asking there. So if I go to in here into settings, I think it's not shipping and pickup, maybe it's payment. Those are all my things, but this is where you can set up, Angela, different levels. So for the $12.50 that I'm talking about, for the $15 a month, whatever it is, I can't remember, one's on an annual, one's on a monthly, that you get 100 products here. If you want to pay more monthly because you have thousands of products, then you absolutely can do it here. As far as best site, they're all going to require this level. If you already have inventory that's managed, if you already have all of these SKUs entered, they're all set up to do it this way. What I like about Ecwid, and to be honest, the reason I don't want to say promoting it now, but the reason we're discussing Ecwid now is quite simply because it can be applied across all of these different platforms. So as Shauna just re-asked her question, she's on Wix and looking at switching to Shopify. That would be something I'd have to look at individually, exactly what your needs are going to be, Shauna, how many products you're going to upload and things like that. So all of these e-commerce sites, Angela, will handle your thousands of products. However, it's going to be ease of use. I haven't built a ton of 1,000-item stores, I'm going to be honest with you. So as a result, this is kind of what I'm thinking works for most people who are getting started. You can start with your 100 products if you don't have any of them online right now, Angela, for the less expensive program, and just upgrade as you want to go, frankly. Okay. Keep asking, guys. I love it. So I hope that this helps you get set up. I hope that this helps you start selling online. Ecwid's a great little program. Like I said, I'm paying 12, 15 bucks a month, probably only for the 1 month, frankly, because I don't know how much I'm going to sell that way. And that's what we're looking at. Is Joomla. Well, I'm not sure if that'll work with Ecwid or not, Christine. We'll have to take a look at that. So that will be something, Christine, we will talk about offline, perhaps. I'm not sure if it will work with Joomla or not. I don't think it does, frankly. So 3 things we covered. Facebook shop. Listen, if you've just got a few things you want to sell and you don't mind handling the direct messages, guys, set it up directly through Facebook. Okay. You saw it there where I had an ice cream cone where people can message me directly to do it. That's pretty simple that way. Okay. With regards to Instagram shopping, listen, you've got to set up your Facebook catalog one way or the other, and then you can connect to Instagram shopping. Instagram shopping works exactly the same way. So if you see in your Instagram feed, and you can see a little post that says it's got a little shopping bag on it, it means they've tagged products. You can click on those products and you can then start to check out just the same. You can go to websites, you can do it that way. And there's Ecwid, online e-commerce, regardless of platform. So you can set up that store on its own. Now, keep this in mind, right? Because we're talking about integrating a lot, and I see a lot of questions in the chat, and I'm not ignoring you, about what about my platform? I understand we want to drive them to the site, but if we're doing a store, we may need to send them to another store right now if we're not going to upgrade our site to something that does work with it. There are going to be tricks with each of them that way, okay? And with regards to if you're asking which one does it work with, let's just take a peek here because we got a handful of them. We set the Facebook catalog. Does it transfer to Ecwid? No, Angela, you'll want it to work the other way. You'll want it to go back and forth. Oh, I've got somebody that just entered the waiting room. They're going to be disappointed. Will it work with GoDaddy, Cheryl? I'll have to look into that. I don't know that it integrates with GoDaddy perfectly or seamlessly. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. It's a widget. It depends on what GoDaddy's receptiveness to that is. Gail, if I'm selling a small number of antique style items, how do I determine shipping costs? Great question. Weight and size, same as you would with anything for Canada Post, unfortunately. It's going to be tricky that way. You may want to set a flat shipping fee, and that might be the easiest way. Joanne, manual additions are also right. Help me out with also. Oh, look at that. Site says yes, Christine. Okay. So what does that mean, Joanne? Nancy, Shopify's free for 90 days. It absolutely is free for 90 days right now. They have a COVID special right now. So it's a great opportunity that way. Yeah, Nancy, if you found a way to do your e-commerce switchover already, do it. Ship Time website. This is great. You guys are helping each other out. Man, you guys are flying through this stuff. And Sasha, thank you for banging through all that stuff. Instead of importing an Excel spreadsheet, absolutely. If you want to do it manually, Joanne, that's absolutely what you can do. If you're willing to do it that way. The Excel spreadsheet is a great way to import each time. So if you manage your inventory in Excel, for example, and you delete an item there, you can then import and avoid duplication, and you can update in real time with that stuff. Michelle, thoughts on Bookmark? Love Bookmark. Bookmark's a very intuitive site. We covered that in our last webinar that way. It's got a great e-commerce platform as well. It's very simple to set up and manage. Absolutely. So all right. So guys, this is going to help you drive traffic through your social. Okay. I want to cover two things before you disappear on me though. Setting up the store is one thing. I need you to understand, think about yourself in an online shopping capacity. So somebody asked a great question about how do I determine shipping costs? You're going to want to make sure you determine all your extras, all your shipping costs. One of the things I would do in that case, or a recommendation I've made to people before, is you build your shipping costs into your price and you do your best, obviously, to cover your costs. We all love free shipping, but free shipping is not free shipping. Anyone ever had a free estimate done on their roof? It wasn't a free estimate. They just built it into the price when you did the roof. Free shipping is not free shipping either. They build it into the price of your stuff. Make sure that when you're setting up your store, that you're set up all the way through. Let me know when it will be delivered. Do you promise to do it Canada Post, which is 3 to 5 days? Do you promise to Purolate it? Can you overnight it? Will it arrive every 2 weeks? Things like that. This is where you'll lose people very frequently, where they're going to go through, they're going to want to buy your amazing red plate, for example, and they're going to be frustrated because the shipping costs on red plate are $19 by the time it's all done. And that's something we obviously want to avoid. Is frustrating them that way. The nice thing about setting this up online is, of course, you can also, managing something here, is it's 24 hours a day, guys. So you can manage that inventory. And I say without spending big bucks, because yeah, if you want to connect to your Facebook and Instagram, there is a cost through Ecwid and really through any real good online thing that way. But what you're looking at is maybe all things shipping is an idea for another. I'm super intimidated by it. That's a great point, Shauna. We can do all things shipping later. So I hope this helped. I hope this was good. I hope this helps you get started. Remember your commitment to me. You're going to try one of these things. I don't care if all you do is add a couple products manually, sell ice cream and red plates, and make me message you. That's fine. That's a better way to do it than not doing anything right now, folks. And that's really what I want you to do. If we were able to cover those 3 things in 1 day or less, and you saw how quickly I was able to update inventory on the back end of this stuff, guys, it's an amazing opportunity to start taking advantage of. And like I said, this is not the future. This is now the present. This is what we're currently looking at. And I want to make sure that we that we take care of it that way. Okay, social media. We will answer. Excuse me, I'm starting to lose my voice. We will answer a lot of questions on social media about stuff like this. You're going to see a lot of posts about some of this stuff coming up, because obviously these are questions we're getting. This is how we start to do it. So follow us on our social, guys, and we give away a ton of free resources. Really, a lot of our stuff that we cover here, like this deck, will end up on our social media. It's out there for people. So please follow us that way. If you have any questions, that's the best way to get in touch with us. Okay, website, email, cell phone number, which poor Sasha has at her house as part of the quarantine right now. So you'll probably get Sasha if you call there. But we'd love to hear from you guys. I want to know how it's working. I want to know what strides you've made, and I want to know what hurdles you hit. The way we come up with this topic, the way we come up with this information, guys, it's based on questions you ask. We listen and we try and figure out what you're doing and where you're stuck, and then we try and solve this as we go. We're all in this together, guys. I was on a call this morning where, and this is intimidating and it's terrifying, so I don't want to upset anyone, but it was somebody that's done kind of pandemic prep for NAV Canada before, and they say their plan is 2 years. This is something that we want to start getting set up, and we want to start looking at this. I don't know when we're going to be back to normal, and more importantly, our normal has shifted. So thank you very much for joining us today. I hope this was helpful. If there's anything that you missed or you weren't able to scribble down, you'll get a copy of the recording, guys. I appreciate you taking this time. If there's any other questions, Nancy, and I do see your message there, so I'll give a call. If there's any other questions, you've got our contact details. Please find a way to get in touch with us. We're happy to answer them. Our goal is to make sure all of us are happy and healthy, not only physically and emotionally, but financially and everything on the other side of this. So thanks so much, guys. Yeah, stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.